Hello, and welcome to part 1 of my Living Player's Guide for Earthbound on the Super Nintendo. What is a Living Player's Guide? Well, in short, it's a Let's Play with all the fluff removed. No grinding, no deaths, no tool assists here. I'm just going to be playing the game. You'll only see the story and relevant tips for the game. For part 1, we're going to play through the introduction, all the way through the first boss, Frank. So sit back and enjoy the video. And if you do enjoy the video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm just starting out and your help would be greatly appreciated. And now, on with the game. The canon name for the dog is King, but in my eyes the only correct name is Scooby. Okay, now, I am going to show you most of the intro here, but there isn't a whole lot to say right now. The most important thing right now is to head into Tracy's room, Tracy is Ness's sister, and grab the cracked bat and equip it. Then, once you leave Ness's house, follow the left path and the game will direct you where you need to go. Once you get to the top of the hill, the police will have set up a roadblock. The Onna police are actually famous for setting up roadblocks. Anyway, talk to the kid with blonde hair, his name is Pokey, and then go ahead and return to Ness's house. As we head back to Ness's house, here's a handy tip for you. The L button is actually mapped for talking to characters, checking, such as opening up a package, and for confirming moves in battle. In other words, you can play the entire game with just one hand. In the interest of relevance, here's a look inside of Liar X Agerate's house. You'd be surprised how many people never go back to visit him after the introduction sequence. Okay, once you get Buzz, go ahead and head down the mountain. I'm going to go ahead and cut that part. And now we're going to have our first major battle. This isn't going to be very difficult, just let Buzz do a lot of the heavy lifting. And here is another quick tip for you. Once you drop off Pokey and Picky in their home, Buzz will give you an important item. This item remains in your inventory until the end of the game. However, there is a trick so you don't have to carry it with you. Before you enter Pokey's home, fight lots of crows and fill up your inventory with cookies. Then, when Buzz tries to give you the item, he will instead send it to your extra storage, which is called Escargot Express. The game will still play exactly the same, but you can save the inventory space. And interesting fact, this trick actually took gamers 20 years to find. It's relatively new, but very helpful if you want to save the inventory space. With that, the game really begins now. I would say go ahead and head back to Ness's home to save and rest if you need to. While you're on it, I do recommend just returning to Ness's home anytime you need to heal or save because it's free. Now, money isn't very important in this game. You'll rarely run out of funds, if ever, but it's still worth taking advantage of places you can rest for free. The game has a bunch of them, and it's worth it. Now that you're going to be fighting lots of enemies, let me explain something about the overworld. Whenever a battle starts, the game will run a quick calculation to see if you would go first and if you would kill the enemy in one hit. If so, the game will instantly kill the enemy and you will get any items you would normally win from the battle, such as EXP and items. Here is what it looks like. As you head south, be sure to stop at the library and get a map. Hit the X button to go ahead and open up the map and it will show you all the relevant places in most towns, like where to get healing items, equipment, and the hospitals. It doesn't take up any space in your inventory, so just get it. Then, head north to get an item from Ness's friends. Weave between the trees to reach the clubhouse and talk to the kid with the red cap. He'll give Ness the Mr. Baseball cap, which is a piece of equipment for the other category. This hat actually provides better defense than the hat you can buy in the item store, which is going to be extremely useful as we go and fight the sharks. With the Mr. Baseball cap in hand, head south into town and check any trash cans along the way for items. Go ahead and go into the shop and buy a T-ball bat. And if you have the money from beating all the stray dogs and rattlesnakes, go ahead and buy the cheap bracelet too. If not, you can come back for it later. Now, if you'll notice, Ness's status screen flashes when he's hovered over an item in the shop. This means that it's actually going to increase his stats. It's a handy way to be able to tell what you need and don't need as you play the game. You can also head next door to the burger place and get some healing items if you wish. You don't really need them at this point. The sharks will provide lots of items, I promise. Unless you get really bad RNG, but hopefully that won't happen. Okay, now it's grind time. Head south to the arcade and get ready to fight the local gang, the Sharks. These guys can be troublesome until you reach about level 5, then they should be fairly easy to beat one-on-one. But beware, they can and will call for backup when you start a fight. So it is possible for you to get swarmed and overwhelmed, but it shouldn't happen very often. I recommend you fight these guys until you reach at least level 6 or 7. Use your life up A to restore your health if it falls to or below 25. Lastly, the Pogo Punks have a high chance of dropping burgers, so be on the lookout. Alright, good luck, and be sure to deposit any money, because if you lose a battle, you will lose half the money you are carrying. Okay, and now with the magic of video editing, I am level 7 and have an inventory full of burgers. It's time to fight Frank, the boss of the Sharks. At this level, it shouldn't be too hard. Remember, if you didn't get it yet, go back to the shop and buy a cheap bracelet before you fight Frank. Alright, here we go. Let's head down to the arcade and teach him a lesson. My last bit of advice before you fight Frank is to make sure you're ready for the battle. I suggest being at level 7 because once you beat Frank, the Sharks will no longer spawn in the overworld and you can't farm them for EXP anymore. I don't want to overstate this, the game is fairly easy overall, but there are some difficulty spikes. The next area has some enemies that have a high critical hit chance and they can wreck you if you're not careful, so beware. So, before we go ahead and fight Frank, here's a look at his stats from the official Earthbound Player's Guide. Go ahead and take a look, and then let the fight begin. When fighting Frank, just use the same tactics you used against fighting the Sharks. Just bash him, and if your health falls to or below 25, use a turn to use life up or eat one of your burgers. Once you beat Frank, you have to fight his Steam bot, the Frankenstein Mark II. If your health is low, go ahead and heal on the first turn, as he shouldn't attack you. This boss is pretty easy as long as you remember one thing. He only attacks every other turn. So he takes a break from attacking, use the opportunity to heal yourself. Here's a look at his stats before we fight him. And that's it. You just beat the sharks and have taken the first steps on your big adventure. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to get out more of these videos soon. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I'm just starting out here on YouTube, and your help is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. See you next game, everybody.